Hi, you're joining me, Ashley King, a podcast enthusiast who loves to chat. I run a studio called Flamingo Heights Podcast Studio in the Oosburn, Newcastle upon Tyne. We specialise in audio and video podcasts, and we're passionate about helping people to bring their stories to life. You're listening to our pop-up podcast recorded at the North East Business Expo, hosted by Fresh Events in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce Northeast. It was a super busy day and we got to chat to lots of small businesses and individuals about the work they do and why it matters. By the way, these guests have had no media training or preparation. It was a very spontaneous thing to do on the day, recorded in a very noisy space. We hope that these recordings show that with a little support and the magic of editing, any story can come to life. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Hi Andy, thank you for coming to my stand and chatting to me.
Pleasure.
So, can you tell us, for people who are listening and haven't met you yet, who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name's Andy. My nickname is Huzzard because of my surname, but I'm an armed forces veteran, but I'm also a Freemason and have been for the past 2 years.
So, what can you tell us about the Freemasons? What would you like to share today?
Well, what I can tell you is that they are committed to helping people and raising funds for charities within the local community, as well as a Freemason himself going on his own personal journey of development.
Absolutely. So part of your personal journey, we've talked about earlier. If anyone interested, we'll link that in this show notes. But for anyone listening now, what would you like to raise awareness of in terms of the Freemasons and the walk you're doing?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm in training at the moment for a sponsored walk taking place on the 8th of June, and that's going to be starting off at the Hartlepool Huff Battery, and we'll be stopping in at the Tommy Sculpture in Seaham and concluding our 20-mile walk at Mowbray Park at the War Memorial. It's part of an Armed Forces Network team, and through the Durham Freemasons charity we hope to raise as much money as we can, and on completion then share that out amongst veterans charities across the North East.
It sounds like a really admirable thing to do. So you mentioned there's a team of you doing it. How many of you are doing this walk?
There's actually 11 of us now. We did start off with, I think it was 9, but we're all training hard and trying to raise monies through our own separate means so that we can raise as much as we can, and awareness and of the importance of veterans charities.
So we've talked about this a bit earlier, but I'd like to, for people who maybe haven't heard our earlier chat, if they're thinking, who do I want to support at the moment? I've got a little bit of extra funds. I want to support a charity. And they're thinking of supporting you with this walk. What kind of issues would you say that veterans are facing, particularly at the moment, that these funds will really help to address?
I think there's a lot of charities out there for veterans, some more well known than others, but they're all as important to each other because of the services they provide. And a lot of veterans, including myself, you sometimes struggle with the transition back into civilian life. There may be some additional mental health issues from having served in active theatres, but a variety of challenges for people, and some of these charities just give you that guidance and assistance in whatever field you may need. It may be financial, emotional, housing. So there's a variety of charities out there, so it's important that we raise as much as we can, and then we can benefit as many charities as we can for the veterans across the North East.
I think it's really powerful actually that you are going on a journey as a group of gents, veterans, who are giving their time again to, they've already given service and helped to protect their country, but they're now also going to protect each other, have that camaraderie between each other, have that walk, but also continue to give back to the people around them and people who may be facing challenges that they've already experienced themselves, as you said, transitioning back to civilian life after active service. So how are you feeling about your walk? Do you feel like you're training enough? Are you looking forward to it? What are your thoughts?
No, the training is going well. I've called mine Huzzie's Hike from an individual perspective, but obviously I'm part of that wider team of the Armed Forces Network, Freemasons. But training is going well. I have completed a 20-mile walk last week. which I found quite challenging, but I've got a long way to go yet. Obviously, we've not got too long until the 8th of June, but I am recording videos about my training on Facebook, which is called Huzzy's Hike, and it is in the public domain, so people can access the link and donate to my cause and obviously the team overall. And normally you'll be familiar with my catchphrase, which is, don't just think, click on the link.
Oh, I love that. That's so good. I work with so many charitable organisations, and that is such a brilliant phrase. Don't just think, click on the link. I love that. So have you coined that yourself?
I have, yes. I do like to. I've done sponsored events before, and I have done charity walking before, and I do like to put some sort of tagline in there because people can associate it with you, and it can become quite catchy. I've had a few friends who are still serving and retired that sort of message me, and there is a little bit of banter because they know that I do like my little phrases.
But it's so true, you know, the online landscape is so noisy. We see so much on our social media channels. We can often see something and think, that looks brilliant, I'll come back to it, and then we think, but we don't actually click and we don't do anything with that link because we think, oh, I'll come back to it, and it's so easy to then lose that opportunity to support. So for anyone listening, if you're enjoying hearing about this walk and you'd like to support, we'll have a link to how you can support Andy and make sure that you raise as much money as you can. So thank you for what you're doing for veterans, and thanks again for your service.
Thanks very much, Ashley.
Thanks. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content today and you feel inspired to start a podcast, reach out to us at hello@flamingoheights.co.uk. We can't wait to help you get your idea started.